Well, good morning, guys. A few months ago, I went on a little bit of a venture to rvmax.us in South Carolina. I was asked by a client if I could take a look at a 2008 Foretravel Nimbus that they were looking at and they were interested in purchasing. And I brought you guys along for the journey too and shared that coach with you. Now, that owner had been scouring the internet for a better part of a year looking for a luxury, pre-def, high-quality RV that was at least 38 feet or a little bit shorter. Now, he shares the same viewpoint that I share, and I try to share with you guys, in the sense that these non-Indiana luxury high-quality motorhomes built between like 2000 and 2009 are some of the best luxury homes that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, especially for the value. Because as a structure, they are overbuilt, and the mechanics of them, or the mechanical systems, really are going to last the test of time, provided that the structure is fine. And that's why he brought me out there to South Carolina to see the guys over at rvmax.us. Now, when I say they're an exceptionally good value, it's because even my 2001 Beaver Patriot Thunder was just under $400,000 brand new. And what I paid for it, you couldn't get a decent toy hauler fifth wheel for in 2024. But it was top of the line luxury in 2001. A good condition luxury motorhome of that era gives a rare opportunity for most people to get probably the best built RVs ever made at a very, very, very small price. And remember, they're homes. You can redesign them however you want. And when you compare these to a modern luxury diesel RV, their construction methods and of course their materials are a little bit lackluster. It may not have been too vital to this client. Don't forget the taxes, title, and registration on 20-year-old RVs is substantially less. And while again it wasn't too important to my client, these modern luxury RVs have a huge depreciation loss from first year purchase to the second year value. Like classic cars, these high quality RVs tend to have a little bit more timeless classic character to them that I think people are going to start to be expressing a desire to find. So while in real estate it's always about location, 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 with RVs, because they're mobile, location doesn't seem to matter so much. It's going to be about quality, quality, quality. However, don't forget, motorhomes are just that. They're still homes, and they can be remodeled. And because they are tiny homes, you can remodel them fairly easily with high quality materials at a very low price, because there's not a lot of square footage when it comes to countertops, flooring, and cabinetry. So his plan ultimately, and why he flew me all the way to rvmax.us in South Carolina, was to make sure that the 2008 Nimbus from Foretravel that he found, we already know that it's high quality, but he wanted to make sure that it had good bones, structurally was sound, mechanically was sound, and was something he could remodel to make what he wanted it to be at a huge discount compared to a modern RV. Now, while I did find a few issues during my inspection that I brought to his attention and rvmax.us did take care of, there still remained a few items that he needed to take care of. And because I'm always up for adventure, he asked me if I could join him at his current location in Key Largo, Florida, to finish up those repairs. As someone from the deserts of Arizona, I'm not going to say no to that. This also gives us a very rare opportunity because I already shared the coach with you before the remodel, and he finished up the remodel too. So I just have a few repairs that I'm going to do on this coach, and we'll do a quick follow-up video showing the remodeled interior and talk to the owner and see how much it costs and if they would recommend doing something like this to anybody else. All right, guys, I think I'm done with the repairs. And I have been authorized to go ahead and take you on a tour of this newly renovated 2008 Nimbus Foretravel. Sadly for me and you guys, I don't get to take you on a tour or test drive of this 1970 Corvette Stingray. Maybe next time. But for those of you who don't remember, you didn't see the video, this is a 40th anniversary version of the Foretravel brand. This is a Nimbus 338. Now it only has 2 slide outs on it. Of course, given their location, he couldn't have had any on the passenger side anyways. Now, he really has not done any upgrades or changes on the exterior other than to wash and wax it. But of course, having a nice exterior was half the reason why it took so long for him to scour the internet for a nice luxury motor coach. This era, to make sure that the paint was in good condition, there was no delamination or checking. Those are definitely much more difficult items to take care of. Let's go ahead and go inside and see what he did. You know, one of the obvious and most easiest upgrades that everybody should probably do is to change out their thermostat to a smart thermostat. I just turned the ACs off so everybody can hear me, but it's nice and cool in here. Now before we go too far in, I want you to take a look at this Korean countertop material that was used on the stepwell and the stepwell cover. If you didn't see the tour beforehand, that's the last you're going to see of the original countertops that were in this RV. Now, I wish I was high-tech enough to understand how to give you a side-by-side comparison of what it looked like before and what it looks like now. And more importantly, I really wish you could understand how it smells in here, because this is brand new custom leather that's been done on all the furniture inside the RV. So the owner had both captain's chairs sent out and recovered, and the upholsterer even went ahead and embroidered in Foretravel logo into the new covers. Now, not only did he do the captain's chairs, but he also did the Euro recliner here, has been recovered also, including the custom embroidery done on the seat back of that too. He also reupholstered the original sofa, which is frankly quite comfortable. And that custom leather upholstery has extended into the dinette here. Remember, this does not turn into a bed and does not extend out. He also went ahead and used synthetic ostrich leather for all the inlays on the fascia of the trim of the slide out room. And while the woodwork on these valances is all original, he did wrap all the padded valances with that same synthetic ostrich leather. You want to go synthetic on this because that's going to be exposed to a lot of heat and a lot of UV rays, and leather will crack and turn hard pretty quickly exposed to constant sunlight. But probably the biggest change is going to be right here with the dash. This entire dash has all been rewrapped also. Now this is again a synthetic because it's going to be baking in the sun. But if you told me this was factory, I would believe you. Whoever he found to do all this custom upholstery work should have their name out on the internet, because they did exceptionally good work. That means they took this entire dash apart and rebuild it, and I can't see any signs that it was rebuilt at all. Now above the dash, he did install this brand new Sony Smart TV. It's a very clean installation with the Sonos soundbar down below it. And yes, with the Sonos system, he can access all the controls from the iPad touchpad here, just like a modern multi-million-dollar motor coach. Now besides all the soft trim work, the flooring and the cabinetry has all stayed the same, which is why he was looking for a high quality unit like this, because you can't get quality cabinetry in modern RVs, even close to this. But after that, the biggest upgrade is going to be with the countertop. Every single countertop has been remade with an engineered quartz material that has a beautiful veining and banding on it that wraps all the way around to the backsplash here and there. You put in a new stovetop. We already saw the dinette table and even this little wet bar area back here. There's going to be mirrors on the backsplash, if I remember correctly. He has really updated the functionality and look of this very beautiful Foretravel. And while I'm very impressed by the quality of the workmanship and the materials that he used in here, probably the biggest change is going to be through this pocket door and into the bathroom. So when I went to go take a look at this, is rvmax.us there in South Carolina. The shower was a standard semicircle shower. It had the standard, that rolling door that's very common on all these luxury coaches was missing. And at some point, that door had fallen off and destroyed the shower wall back over here, if you take a look at those videos. So this is the first time I've ever seen anybody rip out a shower and upgrade a shower to this high degree. Removing that original shower pan down below, inserting that same engineered quartz material as a shower pan that has been ground to have a slope down to the drain there. That same stone material is used on the walls because they ripped out the old shower walls. And then added this beautiful residential tempered shower glass enclosure. I really love everything about it, from it's only got a 1-inch lip down here. And of course, I'm 6 foot tall, so I don't have to step up. And I'm not going to hit the cross brace right here. This is a huge shower. Hi, guys. And because he was at it, he went ahead and changed out all the fixtures. He has a rainfall shower head and then a custom modern body spray that you'll find in a very modern RV from 2024. He even included some shelving made out of the same stone material. So this right here would have been one of the best upgrades I've ever seen anybody do on any RV. Now, while the shower is the star of the show here, he did go ahead and upgrade the vanity countertop with that same engineered stone that has the same veining in it. And I think if I remember correctly, the backsplashes were those beveled mirrored backsplashes. That was so common at the time. Now, while we're down here, we can see those little puck lights. While all the fixtures are brand new, he did upgrade all the puck lights to LED puck lights. Now, while I think it'll be very difficult to argue that he did a great job in the bathroom here, I think my proudest moment is coming in here in the water closet. He did take out the original wood shelf or ledge that was in here and had a little bit of water damage because it's right next to the toilet, and changed that out to the engineered stone, which has a cascading waterfall effect to it. But of course, I'm really proud because I had a video showing that I did it on the cheap too, taking out the carpeted cover on my toilet. If you were to go back and compare to the previous video, he has upgraded all his towel bars, his knobs, and handles throughout the entire RV too, which again illustrates that a motorhome is still a home. You can find this hardware at the local big box store. It's a pretty easy upgrade to do, fairly inexpensive, and it will update the look very quickly. Now, his last big project is going to be back here in the bedroom. Now, while he has upgraded all the valances in here, the padded headboard, and the countertops on both nightstands, including the bedroom TV has been upgraded. His last big project is on the flooring down below. He just ripped out the carpet and will be upgrading the flooring back there very soon. I don't know what his plans are there, if he's going to build heated flooring. I would still like to see carpet in the back, but this isn't my RV, and he didn't ask my opinion. While I won't say this was an incredible easy amount of work, it is very possible to customize any RV that you want. Now, there's still an awful lot of luck in finding a luxury used RV of this quality in this condition. It's also pretty good food for thought in this modern RV world, where homemade tiny homes and RVs and bus conversions are becoming more and more common, to understand that there's probably a lot more value than you think there is in finding an older RV and redesigning it and re-equipping it to fit your new modern needs. But don't forget about the intangibles of having a VIN number assigned to it as a motorhome with a good title on it, an RVIA certification to it, so most parks and campgrounds will still recognize it. And as long as an RV looks pretty good, you're going to get into most campgrounds, like 95% of campgrounds. If they need a picture, you can send them a picture of it. But a beautiful job has been performed on the renovation of this 2008 Foretravel Nimbus. Tasteful, if not at least a little bit masculine. I would be surprised if the owner traded this in at a dealership, if they even knew that he did anything to it. That's how well this was done. So, Thomas, right? Yes. Or do you prefer Tom?
Tom's good.
All right, Tom's good. So I'm sure everybody's first question is, how much did this cost? And then secondly, who did the work?
The cost, I think you should budget probably 45-ish as far as the cost. I look at it like three buckets of work that were done. One is the upholstery.
Okay.
And the interior. Second is the electronics. And third is the quartz. We put a Cambria quartz in here, which is one of the only quartz that are rated for aircraft. So it's made to bounce, it's made to move, and it's very strong. So, and
that's an engineered.
It's an engineered quartz,
right?
Right.
So it's very stable, right?
It's called Cambria, is what the name.
So it doesn't crack, doesn't have the problems that you associate with normal stone. You don't have to worry about staining or treating it, right?
Exactly. As far as the interior goes, what we did was we went to Bahamas Upholstery, and the owner's name is Raul. Raul and I have been doing a lot of projects for probably 15 years now. And he's an amazing guy. He's got a great shop. He actually put a 50 amp service in so I could pull the coach in and leave it there while he, did the work. And so what we did was we put actual leather, genuine leather on all the furniture. And then on the trim pieces, And the dash, where we actually we recovered the dash as well, we put a vinyl, a leather-like vinyl, and this is like an ostrich vinyl, so it looks really authentic. It looks great, and also it lasts a long time, and you can clean it. But the leather is fabulous, and also we put the he did the embroidery.
Correct.
Where
Yeah.
we put the Foretravel into all the chairs.
Now the leather's very nice. I can feel the quality in it, and the stitching's fantastic. But the cushions feel a lot different than they did when we looked at it. So did they do anything different with the cushions too?
What they did was, especially the dinette, was you hit the bottom, and the chairs and this chair especially, we replaced all the seats with memory foam. So we put really high quality memory foam in all the
including this recliner you're in.
Right.
That's even more comfortable than it was originally too.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly, because your butt kind of hit the bottom in this as well. So, they did a wonderful job though. Right. I'm in the Keys right now, and so really where I had all the work done was in Fort Lauderdale, which is kind of nice. If you're coming to Florida in the winter, you could probably schedule something where you could drop it off and he could work on it while you're here in Florida.
There's a 50 amp plug now.
Right, now he has a 50 amp plug. You can park, camp if you want, and worked out really, really well. Now, while it was parked at Raoul's, my friend George, who owns International Granite in Fort Lauderdale, did the courts. He deconstructed all the existing hard surface tops, took it all out, and measured up and put in the Cambria quartz. And that took him probably about 2 weeks to deconstruct and then fabricate, order the materials, and then install the materials. The approach we took was in the shower was to put a 3-piece shower in where the floor was the quartz. He honed that floor to make it so it would drain, and then it's put together with epoxy so that it doesn't leak. Really, I think a very slick way to attack this project on the shower part of it. And then we put shower glass in, and it was actually much larger than that half-round awkward shower.
It's easily twice its size.
It's just in every one of these coaches that you look at. Good news about, George, why it's so wonderful for him to do this is in Fort Lauderdale, there are a lot of private aircraft as well as large yachts that he does. So he's very familiar with tight spaces and difficult areas in which to work. Now, the offset to that is you could probably count on about double the price that you would pay to have your kitchen done, right? So when you look at the square foot per price, you can pretty much double that. Again, on the quartz, I would budget probably 20 to 25,000, depending on what you want to do with that. Between the fabrics, the interior leather, the quartz, I would say 40 to 45,000 is a good number to sort of budget, and maybe a little bit more if you want to get really fancy, or if you have a lot more stuff that I have.
And who was that again?
That was George from International Granite.
Yeah, I'll put the information in the description.
So you can get those guys.
Because they obviously do fantastic work.
Yeah, they did a great job, and George owns the company, and so does Raoul.
You didn't scare them away from working on RVs in the future, did you?
No. They plus they deal with me, which isn't that easy to deal with.
Okay.
Either, so it's all...
One of my final questions would be, did this match the vision that you had on the Foretravel Nimbus when you purchased it a few months ago? You do remodels periodically, and so when you were buying it, you already had in your mind's eye.
I'm lucky because I had time to work on it. It took me about a month to do the whole thing.
That's an incredible amount of time.
So it worked out really, really well. I'm really happy with it. It's comfortable. It's elegant. I think it's timeless. It's not trendy. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to pass this down. It's in my collection. It's going to be passed down to my kids. We're going to keep this thing in the family, hopefully for generations to enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. So.
Well, it's very easy to do when you have a solid base platform like a Foretravel. I think the entire Foretravel crew down there in Nacogdoches, Texas, will be quite jealous of the work you had performed here. I hope you get it down there and have them take a look at it. Probably the best shower remodel I've ever seen done on an RV. So you and
George from International Granite in Fort Lauderdale.
Correct. All right. So George.
Don't forget Raoul.
Well,
Bahamas Upholstery.
This looks like factory upholstery. So
yeah, and the dash too. He did the dash. If you look at that dash, It looked like it came right out of the factory.
Right.
It's amazing. The guys do wonderful work. Really, craftsmanship. Good craftsmanship.
So to everybody out there, you're not stuck with whatever design choices that were made by the factory. It's your house. You can do what you want with it. Sky's the limit, as long as you have a good solid base to go with. It's a surprisingly better value, I think, buying used than most people probably think it is. Don't be afraid of them. You got a lot of options out there, and a beautiful coach. Thanks a lot again,
Right
Tom.
on.
Thanks again, Tom.
There might have been a quick change of plans. He's gonna have me do a quick shakedown road test to see my opinion on it up to North Carolina. Should be a lot of fun. Only take about 14 hours. Bye. One day, North Carolina, I'm gonna be able to visit you with more than just an airplane flight at an airport. Which of course, given the... Now, of course, like any RV, it's still a work in progress. He still has to decide what to do with the custom wooden header and valance on this plastic mini blind shade here. How can you carry on? It's now the second time I've been to Miami.